on in. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. How is everyone doing today? Oh, I see I got a little delay, but that's okay. I'm gonna keep on moving because you'll catch up with me. There we go. I'm synced now. I'm synced, I'm synced, I'm synced. How is everyone doing on this Sunday afternoon? I hope everyone's having a great Sunday. Um, my name is TammyRenee. In case this is your first time seeing me, I am TammyRenee, a business and lifestyle strategist, and I help you build a business and move abroad successfully. So, what I wanted to come on here today is to talk about building your business and moving abroad. I get a lot of questions. Well, what can I do? How do I find a job? Where can I work? All of those great things. But the great thing is, you can build your own business and travel the world. You can travel, I call it as a global entrepreneur. And a global entrepreneur means that you can travel anytime between 3 to 6 months at a time. Or you could travel as a nomad. A nomad is anywhere between 6 months to a year before you have to renew. There may be some places that is more than 1 year before you have to, longer than 1 year before you have to renew, but I always base it on up to a year. And then there is an expat. An expat is when you are planting seeds, planting your foundation in one location, a new location that you have decided that you wanted to live and build in. When you are a expat, you can either build a what I call brick and mortar business. And it doesn't have to be a like an actual building, but those are the ways that you can build your brick and mortar business. If you want to become an expat, you are a digital nomad or a global entrepreneur, it will be harder to build a brick and mortar business because you'll be moving around a lot, right? But if you want to build a brick and mortar, always go for the expat route or retirement route. That's another way, but that's also an expat, right? But I like to focus on global entrepreneurs and I like to focus on digital nomads. I like change. I like to move around. I have been an expat in the past. I lived in Costa Rica for 3 years. And then I came back to the United States and now I am a global entrepreneur. I actually moved to different areas. And so I have built my business to allow me to do this. So those are some of the things we want to touch on today. If you are here, go ahead, drop it in the chat. Let me know where you are tuning in from because this is a global business and a global platform I am developing here. So we should start seeing people from all over the world. I'm excited about that. I do have a Global Entrepreneurs group on Facebook called Global Entrepreneurs, where we are gathering and we're going to be collaborating. It is a space for collaboration, to network with other global entrepreneurs, to build your business, and some educational things in there too. So be sure to check that out on Facebook. You will see a QR code up in the corner. That QR code, anytime that you are ready to start building your business, go ahead and download your free checklist. This is a free resource for you to go ahead and start checking off the things that you need to set up in order to move successfully international, whether that is for global entrepreneurs, digital nomads, or expat. So go ahead and download that. It's free. There's no charge. That is for you to help you prepare for your move to be successful. If you are here, again, let me know in the chats. Hit hashtag replay if you are catching this replay. Yes, yes, yes. So we are going global. Grow and go global. In this economy today, That is one thing I believe we all should be focusing on, building our businesses so that we can go global, whether it is working with international clients or traveling abroad yourself. So just because you don't travel abroad does not mean you cannot work with international clients. So those are things I believe that we should start thinking about. My real mission is to make sure everybody has more than one passport or residency in another country. So if that's something you're interested in, I can work with you and give you a consultation. You can go to TammyRenee /exploratory and set you up a time for that. And we can talk through that and see what your options are, if that is something you are interested in. But if you looking to build a business, I'm going to give you some ideas on business ideas that you can do when you want to move abroad or travel abroad or work abroad or build clienteles abroad. So, one of the things you want to do is to make sure that you tap into your own skills, right? You don't want to go to another country and start building something new that you have to learn. You already have the challenges of a new country that you have to navigate. You don't need to add more challenges to your plate. You want to tap into the skills you already have to make the transition easier. So I'm going to give you an example. If you love photography and you're good at photography, maybe, yes, you can take classes on refining that technique and what type of photography you want to do. But guess what? You can use your photography skills and travel the world. As a matter of fact, when I was in Curacao, I had some photography done, some photos done by Karen, and she does bourgeois photos. So she was traveling in Curacao. She's not from Curacao, but she was traveling from there. So she put an ad out. I answered the ad, and guess what? I got photos done in Curacao from someone who did not live in Curacao, who was using her business and traveling also. So that is an example. You could take photos of people around the world and use that to build your business. You don't have to have a studio. You don't have to stay in the United States, in your state, to do this. You can take this worldwide. Any kind of hobbies that you do that does not require you to be in person with a person on a constant basis is anything you can do to build your business. You like singing, you like art, you like those kind of things. Yes, you can take that international, but making sure that wherever you go, it aligns with your business. For example, before I get into some of those other things, if you are an artist, right? If you are an artist and you want to go international and travel the world while you do your art, you want to make sure you are picking locations where your art will be appreciated, where you have access to the art materials that you need. If you do not have access to the art materials that you need, you will be stressed and you will get burned out. That is not the goal. We want to survive, not thrive while we are in. We want to be thriving, not surviving. I'm sorry. We want to be thriving, not surviving in paradise, right? We don't want to live to survive. We want to live to thrive. And so you want to make sure that you have access to all of the things that you need to be successful. And that takes me on the digital nomad or digital products or anything digital, anything that's done or online. Of course, you can take that international, right? Whether it's teaching courses. So these are some ideas for you. So if any of these pop out for you, write them down. Start building your business, blogging, right? Blogging, YouTubing. You can do that from anywhere, podcasting, anywhere. Even if you want to do in person, guess what? I do in person sometimes. So I interview international expats, international global entrepreneurs. So I was able to take my business and transition it into a global business so that I can travel the world, because that's what I do. I love it. It's a passion for me. So those are some other ideas. Anything digital online that you can do. But here's the tricky part. You want to pick locations where the Wi-Fi internet is stable. If it is always down, or you're always having a problem with connection, or it has slow connection, you're going to stress yourself out. You're going to get overwhelmed. You're going to get burned out. And your passion then will no longer be a passion for you. So when you're looking for these locations, you want to make sure that you have access to the things that you need, so that you can be successful. You can do marketing. Those are things you can do online. You can have customers from all over the world. Well, guess what? While you're traveling, you can also meet up with international small businesses that are around the world and get you more business. While you're doing that, speaking, writing, any of those things, you can do software. Any of those things that you can do. And guess what else you can do? People I don't think really think about is drop shipping. Yes, you can have your store online, live from anywhere, and also do drop shipping to anywhere that you want it to go. Now, if you're going to base it in the United States, but you're traveling all over the place, all over the globe, you can do that too. But all your shipment will be drop shipped. You're not responsible for making sure it's shipped. You're not packaging it up yourself. You're not doing those things. And so that allows you to have more freedom to move around. So when you are building this business, make sure you think about the freedom that gives you to move around. Another thing you can do is teaching. Now, teaching is one of those things, if you're looking to get a job, you can do it on your own. But tutoring and teaching is one of those jobs where maybe when you go to different locations, you can pick up some clients and do in-person stuff. Speaking is also in person. Training is also in person. These are jobs that are added to your portfolio as you are traveling, that you are picking up along the way. But because I taught a class in Curacao doesn't mean I have to live in Curacao to teach the class, right? I just traveled there and I got the opportunity. And so now I can take that opportunity and put it on my portfolio that I have taught in Curacao. I am an international trainer. That makes me an international trainer. And so this is how you build your portfolio so that you be recognized as a global entrepreneur. A global entrepreneur does not mean that you have to, yes, virtual training. And it is thriving since COVID. It is a really big one that you could do anywhere. Virtual is on the internet. Again, you just want to make sure that you have good access to Wi-Fi and internet if you choose to go that route. And you can also do teaching in person. Now, there's so many places around the world that are looking for English teachers. If you speak English and you can take that, you don't have to have a degree at a college or anything to do this. You have to take a test now and pass the test. So if you're good at English and your vocabularies and your punctuations and grammar and things like that, if you're good at it, you can take that natural skill that you already have and do that around the globe with other people. You can pick up private clients. It doesn't take, for instance, if you want to teach English and you want to work with people in the area that you're traveling to, let's say I'm going to Spain or let's say I'm going to Ecuador because that's one of the places I want to go to. But let's say I'm going to, or Colombia. I'm going to a Spanish speaking area. It doesn't take 2 years to teach someone the basic skills of English. If you're going to be there for 3 months to 6 months to up to a year, that is enough time to get private clients, work with them for the basic part, and continue the training online after they got the basics, because once they got the basics, it's easier to switch to virtual. So those are all great ideas that you can do overseas, that you can travel with you. The idea is to thrive internationally. The idea is to keep your options open. The idea is not to be stuck in a box here in the United States or whichever country you're listening from. If you want to go international, it's still always great. You know, you might be living in paradise, but maybe you want clients from the United States, or you want clients from Africa, or you want clients from an island, Caribbean somewhere. You know, you may love the country you're living in, but you want clients from around the world. This is another way I look at global entrepreneurship. You are working with international clients. You're building you're expanding, one, your perception of the world. You're expanding your bank account in multiple ways, and you're expanding your value of what you provide in different ways. So keep that in mind when you are looking to become a global entrepreneur. Again, my URL is iwanttoliveabroad.com if you cannot scan it. So you want to go to iwanttoliveabroad.com or scan the QR code in the corner there to get your free download to start setting you up for success. Make sure to follow me also on Facebook, TammyRenee Maxwell. I put a lot of information out there on TammyRenee Maxwell. And then that will lead you to my Facebook group, which is Global Entrepreneurs. If you have any ideas, drop them in the chat for me and let me know if you have ideas of ways that you can build a business and move internationally or just travel the world. I really like the blogging and the YouTube. You can definitely do that anywhere. And that can also lead to other opportunities. So let's say you have a YouTube and you talk about marketing, right? And you're traveling the world. If you're talking about marketing and you got somebody watching you from, I don't know, let's just say Costa Rica, and then you decide to go to Costa Rica and they recognize you, they may hire you. They may hire you to work with them because, one, now you're already in their country, right? Two, they already trust you because you've built this platform on YouTube that talks about marketing and how you do it. And three, that just expands your, I don't know. It's all the above, right? So drop in the comments of businesses or ideas so other people can see those of what they can do to build this business and go international, right? They say 83% of successful entrepreneurs has built their business on skills they already have. Remember, you are not reinventing the wheel. You want to take the skills you already have and apply those internationally. You don't have to go learn a new skill. If anything, you're just going to fine tune the skill you already have. And by practicing and doing it, you are fine tuning it. You don't have to go learn new skills. That was one of my first mistakes when I did my first international business is I was starting from scratch. I had to refine, I had to define, I had to research, I had to learn, I had to experiment. And so all of that time I was doing all of that was time that I could have been building something I already knew how to do. But that's not how I approached it. That was my mistake. So that's why I'm here to teach you from the things that I learned from my first international business experience. And that was an actual brick and mortar. That was a brick and mortar that I was building. But now I do everything digital and I do local things, but they are not tying me to an area right now. Eventually, I may find a destination that I want to stay in, but I'm trying to get multiple passports. If you have more than one passport, let me know in the comments where you have passports at or residency. If you have multiple residency in different countries, oh, I would love to know what those countries are so that I can research. I may come and visit. I don't know. Put those in the comments. Make sure you hit hashtag replay. Drop other things in the comments. What you think is a good global business idea. Again, my name is TammyRenee. I want to thank you for tuning in. Make sure you share, like, follow, and give me some love in the comments so I can have something to go back and check on. Again, go to iwanttoliveabroad.com and get your free checklist. Other than that, oh, one last thing. Don't forget to tune in to YouTube tonight at TammyRenee capital, all capital wave. My third episode on Curacao, exploring Curacao, drops today, and that is exploring the unique and off the beaten path, right? We're going off the beaten path and finding unique things in Curacao. So don't forget to check that out today at 5 p.m. If you are catching the replay, just go back to YouTube at TammyRenee Wave. Wave is all capitalized, and hit the Travel Live Globally series. There is 4 right now because I put an intermission in there for a reason, but there's 4 right now, so you can go ahead and binge watch those. But every Sunday at 5 p.m., we are dropping a new episode that feeds off the next episode and feeds off of each other, taking you through the process of where Curacao is, and if you want to make a decision to live in Curacao. We also will be having a retreat coming to Curacao. So if that is something you are interested in, make sure you stay tuned to me as we put that information together and drop it for you. Again, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you follow, share, and like. Give me some comments, and I will see you at 5 o'clock. You can also catch that on E360 TV because, yes, we are going global. So E360 TV app downloads on YouTube. It downloads on Roku. It's on Apple TV, Sony TV, all the great streaming platforms. So make sure you check that out if you prefer to watch it on E360 TV. Thank you for tuning in. You have a wonderful Sunday, and I will see you at 5 o'clock this evening on YouTube at TammyRenee Wave. I'll see you later. Bye.